Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one that I believe every sickle cell warrior, every parent, caregiver or friend needs to hear. I've traveled many times, I've shared tips before, but after my recent trip to Zanzibar, I realized there is still so much more that we need to talk about. So on this trip, something happened that we all pray never happens while we're traveling if you live with sickle cell. So I had a crisis mid-flight at high altitude, and that was very scary. And I want to share my experience, my story fully, honestly, and also use it to teach you everything that I have learned over the years while traveling safely with sickle cell. So I believe that traveling with the condition is not just about packing a suitcase, it's about preparation, it's about intention, and also protecting your life. So here's what happened. Halfway through my flight, I was asleep and suddenly woke up struggling to breathe. I felt like someone had pressed a switch and my body just shut down. Luckily, I always travel with my medical pack, and inside it, I carry an oximeter, a blood pressure machine, an oxygen mask, thermometer, and also some painkillers. And my reading was 55. If you know sickle cell, you know that how dangerous that is. I tried to get up, but my body was so weak. I managed to grab the attention of the cabin crew. They tested the oxygen with their own oximeter, same result. So by this time, the pain had started spreading across my body, which meant the crisis had already begun. I immediately asked for oxygen. I took my own pain medication. The oxygen helped stabilize me, but only as long as I was breathing through the mask. And the reason I carry my own oxygen tube mask sometimes is because sometimes the mask on the plane doesn't quite fit. And every time I tried to come off the oxygen, my oxygen level dropped again. So I had to stay on oxygen all the way through to Zanzibar. At one point, the pilot considered landing the plane early, but I assured them that as long as the oxygen did not run out, I would manage. That was my biggest fear, running out of oxygen while still in the air. I was also traveling with my friend in Gemma, God bless her. I felt so sorry for her because she's never witnessed something like that. And I was in so much panic. I also reassured her that I will be fine as long as I stayed on oxygen. By God's grace, we barely made it to Zanzibar. And I'm here to tell the story and to make sure that you are better prepared than I was. So, guys, let's talk about everything you need to think about when traveling with sickle cell before your trip, during your trip, and after landing. First thing, you need to rest before your trip. This is something many people ignore. Do not travel when you're exhausted. I know you're excited. Do not travel when you're stressed or run down. A tired body is more vulnerable to a crisis. In the days leading up to your trip, sleep well, try to hydrate deeply, reduce your stress level, and give your body time to be in its strongest state because that's very important. And second, you need to eat well and build your immunity. Before traveling, I try to eat a nourishing meal, hydrate, drink my herbal teas, and avoid junk foods. A strong immune system makes a huge difference in how your body handles the pressures of flying. The third thing is that you need to inform the airline ahead of your flight. This is so important. Don't wait until you get to the airport. When you book your ticket, contact the airline's medical assistance team. Let them know that you've got sickle cell. You may need oxygen because it doesn't happen all the time. You may require priority boarding. You may need a warm blanket. You may need mobility support like wheelchair assistance. You need to avoid long queues. This ensures that they prepare in advance rather than scrambling during an emergency. I assumed that I was fine. The fourth thing for you to remember is travel insurance with full medical cover. Never travel without it. Make sure your insurance covers hospital admissions, emergency treatment, medical evacuation. Very important, guys. Sickle cell complications. I know many insurance don't do that, but I have a few that have covered me in the past. Crisis treatment abroad, medical bills outside your country can be very expensive, especially in emergencies. Always protect yourself. The fifth thing is that know the nearest hospitals and their treatment costs. Before you travel, do your research on where the closest hospital is, how far it is from your hotel accommodation, if they treat sickle cell, if they understand sickle cell, if they offer emergency oxygen, if they accept insurance, if not, what you need to do, the cost of being seen in an emergency. You should never travel blind. Information can save your life. The sixth thing you need to remember is that carry all your medical documentation. This includes your doctor's letter explaining your condition, medical card if you've got it, a list of your medications, dosage and instructions on how you take them, any injections you carry, your medical passport or your medical card, hospital consultants contact, an emergency contact phone number, especially if you are traveling alone. Keep those in your hand luggage, guys. Never check them in, please. The eighth thing is that you need to stay warm at all times. Planes are very cold. Airports are cold. Even tropical countries can be cold indoors. So you need to remember to carry a warm cardigan, carry a scarf, carry some socks with you, a head wrap if you feel cold easily like myself. Cold, you have to remember, is a major trigger and can start a crisis even before you realize it. Number 9 is to hydrate like your life depends on it, because girl, boy, it does. Drink water before your flight, during your flight, after landing. Please avoid alcohol. It can dehydrate you and can trigger a crisis. Avoid heavy, salty meals that dry your body out. Choose things like water, herbal teas, fruits, and lighter meals. Number 10, movement is key. During the flight, stand up, stretch, roll your ankles, move your legs. Just walk around, walk to the bathroom every hour or so, because blood flow prevents sickling and reduces the risk of blood clots, stiffness, and also pain. Number 11, manage your stress and stay calm. I know it's easier said than done. Traveling is exciting, but can also be overwhelming. Stress alone can trigger a crisis. So travel early, avoid rushing, plan your documents, organize your packing, and stay calm. I usually pack like a week before. Number 12, after landing, rest before exploring. Do not rush into activities. Give your body time to adjust to the new climate, humidity, and the environment. Drink plenty, stretch, shower, eat well, and just relax. Traveling with sickle cell comes with challenges. Yep, that's true. But it doesn't mean that you can't explore the world. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy your holidays. It doesn't mean your life has to stop. I love to travel, and I always make sure that I prepare myself. My crisis on the flight to Zanzibar was frightening, but it reminded me why preparation is everything, why listening to your body is everything, why traveling smarter is better than traveling fast, guys. Sickle cell might shape how I travel, but it will never stop me from living. It will never stop me from seeing the world, creating memories, and also experiencing joy. And if you're planning a trip, whether near or far, please prepare. Protect your health, know your body, carry your essentials, inform the airline, buy good insurance, so important, stay hydrated, rest deeply, and travel with confidence, not fear. And earlier in the video, I did mention something. I did mention my medical bag that I travel with, and I just want to talk a bit more about it. And this is my medical bag, and I've got quite a few things inside. But what I wanted to highlight is that if there's one thing you must travel with, please, is your oximeter. It's your oximeter, because this is what will indicate your oxygen level. You know, with sickle cell, flying at high altitude is a problem. The higher we go, the less oxygen we experience, we get. So you're going to experience very low oxygen, and low oxygen might cause a crisis. So please do not forget. So inside my medical bag, I have got this. So this is what made me realize that something is not right. And also I have got my oxygen, well, I won't call it a mask. It's like the oxygen tube, because I don't like the mask. They have the mask on the plane. Some planes do have them, but I always carry mine just in case. It's easier for me to fit the tube in than to put the whole mask. The reason I carry this is because sometimes the mask doesn't fit my face, and you having to pull that is quite, inconveniencing. And also I have my blood pressure machine. So you're going to need this. Some planes do have it, but sometimes they're also very old. Like the flight to Zanzibar, it was quite an old blood pressure machine, and there was a doctor on board who was struggling to use the old blood pressure machine, and we got there eventually, but it took a bit longer because she had to pump and listen to the beat of my heart. But with this digital one, it makes it easier for them to just, it's just about pressing a button, and it also to the upper arm, which gives a better reading, and it's quite portable. So that is in my medical pack. And also I have got my thermometer, which, comes in handy if you feel feverish and you think that you might have a temperature. It's also come with its ear strips, disposable ear strips. So I have that in there, just so that I don't have to rely on the airline in case they don't have it. Better to be prepared than sorry. And also I have got some paracetamol and dihydrocodeine, which I need to refill. So always handy to have a couple of painkillers. Please do not forget that. And let it be in your hand luggage inside the plane. And this here is my morphine. For those of you living with sickle cell, you will know that this is very strong. This is an opioid, a controlled drug. So this has to be prescribed by your consultant or your GP. Please keep it safe. It's very strong, but obviously because it's been prescribed to me, I have the right to carry it. It's also 100 mils. Check with the airlines and make sure you know the limits of liquids that you need to get on board with. But I've never had problems traveling with this. And the other thing that I have, sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. This is something called Mintease. It's a topical cream which does magic when you have pain. It smells quite minty, so I try not to use it a lot in the plane because I don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. It's a nice smell, but I try not to use it because it's very strong. It helps tremendously with the pain. So I hope this has been helpful. If there's anything else that you have in your medical bag, do let me know. I have a separate folder in my other bag, usually my handbag with all my medical records and everything, but this right here is only for emergency pack, medical emergency pack. So please do not forget to have this with you if you are traveling. For watching, I hope this video helps someone out there travel safer and smarter. Please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment so that I can grow and keep sharing content with you all. If you want to check my other videos, please click on the button above. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get to travel safely. Thank you.